Hello YouTube, Jim Tiger here. So I made a 2-month retrospective video after the first 2 months of my time here living in Taiwan, and now it's actually been 6 months. So I've decided to return to doing this kind of video thing here and make my 6-month retrospective. So what have I been up to? Well, I travel every single weekend, no joke, typically with a friend of mine, and we go everywhere. Like today I was actually been teaching national parks this week to the children, and we're using comparisons of the Taiwanese national parks and the American national parks. And there's 9 national parks in Taiwan and 63 in America, but the 9 in Taiwan, I'm like, I think I've been to almost every single one already. Like I still have 4 months left here or something. So I've been busy with traveling. I've been going all over the place, hitting there, doing all this. Like actually, here's a map. Throw up a map of my pins in Taiwan. This is everywhere that I've been in the first 6 months of being here. And I just have about 4 left. So all told, it'll be a bit under a year, just a little bit under a year when I go back to America. So how's it been? Well, I did actually take a month off in the middle there to go to Japan. We got a nice long winter break for Chinese New Year, which is awesome. So instead of like, you know, if you're back in America, you get like kind of Christmas break, New Year's, New Year's with January 1st New Year's and stuff. But then we had the Chinese New Year stuff. So it was a month long, a little bit after Christmas time, and it was super great. And to do that, I actually went to Japan. You might have seen, I have a video on that, and I probably have another 1 or 2 up maybe by this point you might have seen. And I went to Japan for a month with my mom and dad and a really good friend of mine. And then 2 of my other really good friends actually were there as well. One of them is Japanese. One of them was doing some postdoctoral study work there. So a lot of people there that I actually knew, which was really cool. And it was just very nice and very refreshing to go out from Taiwan, to go to somewhere new, you know, go somewhere to just get it was nice because it was a really good balance of like familiar and like cool new exploration. I've actually been to Japan before, but not all of the places that I went on this trip. I've been to Tokyo and somewhere else, but we hit a lot of new places and it was really incredible. Getting like a lot of those things happening was really cool. So coming back to Taiwan, I felt very refreshed, honestly. There's some things in the past that annoyed me, kind of like air pollution. In particular, being down here, I'm in Pingdong County, which if you can look at a map here, so you have like Kaohsiung, and then how would it be oriented? Kaohsiung, and then like east of Kaohsiung is like Pingdong, and then there's mountains. Actually, right now I'm in the mountains, and the air is quite lovely outside, which is really good. And the air is getting better as we're getting out of the winter time as well here, which is really nice. But basically, all the air pollution from like Kaohsiung and everything gets blown over in the winter and like trapped by the mountains. So you can see in the mornings it's usually pretty good, and it like this like evil haze just like viciously creeping in, you know. It's like, but honestly it's gotten better, which has been nice. So I used to bike every single day. I stopped due to air pollution. I've been driving an electric scooter actually because I did not want to contribute to the pollution issue. Yeah, it's just the air is getting a bit better, and even like things about Taiwan that used to kind of throw me off, like used to kind of annoy me, I'm very chill with at this point. Like I miss having sidewalks and things like that in America, and like the roads being a bit more open and it being a bit less, it's so kind of like manic and crowded. But I weirdly didn't mind, to be honest. Like I'm pretty used to it at this point. So that was a really nice realization, honestly. I was just like, yeah, you know what? It's okay, you know, it is what it is. And honestly, I've just lived in it for 6 months, like heck, I'm used to it, you know? So that was actually really cool. And then apart from that, teaching's been great too. I know some people that came back here, they're like, oh, it's been kind of hard, you know, starting after the break, being a teacher again. It was like, maybe I was slightly nervous before I did it again. The second I was up there, it was just like second nature. Like I'm not gonna be a teacher long term. And that was not even my like intention when joining Fulbright, was getting like teaching practice. But a side effect, which makes sense, is that I'm becoming a much better teacher and a much more comfortable teacher. And I've taught really cool, interesting things so far this semester. I taught Black History Month. I taught about my trip to Japan recently and just like a bunch of things about that. And then I taught teaching US national parks this week. So it's really cool. I'm getting a bit more leeway as well to be able to kind of like expand my lessons to be these like broad cultural things, as well as being, you know, then teaching the English content within them. Like, oh, first I went there and then I went there. Or like, you know, what state is the park in? Like things like that. So it's been really cool, actually. I'm much more used to it. I'm much more comfortable in it. I get along very well with both of my co-teachers. That's been really good. And I think 4 months left, actually a little less at this point, is the perfect amount of time, in my opinion, to be honest. I feel like any longer and I'd be like, can I leave? Like, I just feel like I'd be ready to go home. Like nothing even against Taiwan necessarily. It's just like, I'm feeling pretty ready to go home and ready to be with my family and my friends again. I'm realizing, you know, being away is even making me realize more how important those connections are in my life. So that's a thing I'm looking forward to. But I am enjoying my time here as well. I'm really enjoying everything I'm doing, and I'm looking forward to getting to travel more on the weekends and everything, and teach and hang out with my kids and be with them. And I'm enjoying this last 4 months, this last little bit of everything I'm up to then. So that's really cool as well. In addition to that, I am actually now a college student as well. So I'm, at the same time I'm teaching, I'm actually taking courses, which is kind of interesting. So, and running the YouTube channel. So I am staying incredibly busy, but honestly, I'm getting pretty used to it, and it's going quite well, honestly. I mean, the teaching is great, the classes are going all right, and the YouTube thing has been fun, and it's going all right. So, the whole thing's pretty good. And with the college courses, so basically I'm trying to, at the moment, I studied in my undergraduate degree at the University of California, Santa Barbara. I studied environmental studies, and I got a BA, a Bachelor of Arts, which an issue there is that now I'm looking at maybe doing like pilot things, and maybe even looking at someday being an astronaut, all these kind of lofty ambitions, reach for the stars or you fall land on a cloud type of a deal. Who knows? But the thing is, what I'm kind of vectoring toward, aiming for at the moment. And to do that, test pilot, things like that, in the process of that, I need a certain kind of educational background that I do not currently possess. So I'm gonna go for a master's degree in aerospace engineering or physics, probably is my current plan. Quite busy, but it's been very rewarding as well too. And I'm getting used to it. I really like it a lot too. I don't even have too much more in particular, other than just saying about the whole 6 months. If I were to kind of try and summarize and wrap it up, I would say it's been a really, really great, rewarding experience. And it's interesting because you hear from everybody. Like, I graduated college last year. This is my gap year, going to live abroad. I also never got to do study abroad because I wanted to do that, but then COVID and blah, blah, blah. Live abroad, study abroad, and also just like be abroad, like get to experience this gap year from college, And it's really cool because it's been incredibly rewarding. And I think the thing is that it's not been rewarding in any way that I could have predicted. You hear from everybody, myself included now, that like doing a gap year and like, doing a gap year abroad, or just like studying abroad, being abroad, those are two, or, one if you're doing them together, very, very like worthwhile experiences. But why? It's almost kind of hard to like put your finger on why. I think that's a really interesting thing. And even for me, it's difficult to say. And I think that something I actually struggled with when I first came out here was the fact that like, I felt like other people here had like a specific idea of like, maybe they had not really traveled much in their life. Maybe they just wanted to get to experience a different culture and like get to live within that, or be there for a prolonged period. And I wanted to experience new culture for sure and live in that and be like the kind of minority group somewhere and get to experience that, as well as linguistically. I wanted to challenge myself, and my Chinese has certainly improved a lot. That's actually been quite well too. That's going very, very well. And that was kind of my impetus for coming here in the first place. So that's been good. But all the like myriad kind of different ways in which I've grown is not anything I could have seen coming, honestly. Like, there's just so much more, like, I just feel so much more comfortable in myself. And I feel like this all came actually at a really good time for me. At first, it felt like a bad time because last summer before I left, I really realized, like, really realized, like, within myself for the first time consciously, just how much my family and friends mean to me. And then I left them all for a year. And it was really hard for me to kind of reconcile that within myself. But at this point, it's almost put me closer to everyone. That's the thing. Like, having FaceTimes with my family and my friends, and like talking about things about when I'm going to be getting back and things like that. Like, everyone's been so invested in my journey, and people are always hitting me up, and it's been really nice. I feel like it's actually brought me closer to my family, which was an unexpected thing, actually. Family and friends, like all the important people in my life. And then just the perspective on things. And it's helped me to find out more about myself and what I want to do. And I was always a pretty confident, like on top of my things kind of person, but at the same time, I've really been pushing that, and challenging that. And I feel like I'm even significantly more confident and kind of like capable at this point, because I've just done so much and I'm doing so many like different kind of crazy things that I've really had to like, it's been a bit of a struggle, to be honest, or I shouldn't even say struggle at first, more just like it's been a challenge to be here and to adapt and to do all these things, but I've done it, and at this point it's going pretty great, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really thankful, and just this journey that I've been on has been incredible. It'll be great to kind of enjoy these next 4 months and then go back to the US and turn the page and start the next chapter in my life too. So honestly, just everything going on is very exciting, and yeah, Taiwan's been a cool place. It's been a nice home for these 6 months. It'll continue to be a nice home for these next 4 months, I'm sure. And then I'll be happy to also go back to America for sure. There's a lot that I miss about it too. Taiwan's really cool, but I would personally not want to stay here long term. And that's just me. I mean, I'm from somewhere else, you know, I got different likes, wants, needs, desires, whatever it may be. So I'm very pumped personally to be getting back to the States as well. So anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed this 6-month wrap-up situation. I mean, I know I did, and I think it's really cool to be able to get to update you guys on what's happening and show you a little bit of my life, and, you know, intersperse with the clips throughout and show little pictures and videos and things of what I've been up to. Just give you a feel for what my life's like here and give you a sense of perspective, whether you be American or Taiwanese or whatever, about what life is like here for me and for a foreigner, but, you know, obviously specifically through my eyes. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. It's actually lunchtime for me, and I'm at a school right now up in the mountains, as I mentioned, so I'm actually at work, but I mean, it's like the lunch break. But yeah, take care, and thank you guys for watching. Peace out. That's all I got.